Welcome friends to another r/entitled parents video. Our first story of the day is by Warrior White, entitled Mother Lets Her Kid Sit on My Husband's Brand New Motorcycle. This just happened. We live in a pretty decent middle-income apartment complex. Lots of immigrants, but almost everybody's crazy friendly. Due to the corona, a lot of the parents have been letting their children run around like crazy using the parking lot as their playground. Normally, I don't mind. Like I said, everyone's very friendly. 2 weeks ago, we bought my husband's very first ever motorcycle, Harley Iron 1200. We bought it brand new from the dealership. It parks in front of my tiny smart car in our assigned parking space. We outfitted it with covers, movement alarms, chains, etc. My husband's planning to drive it this weekend, so I took the cover off to plug in a portable charger/battery tender. It still has the chains and motion alarms on it, so I left it alone. I was sitting next to our balcony window when I hear the alarms going off. I walk out on the balcony and see this 3-year-old kid climbing the outside of the motorcycle. I rush down the stairs as fast as I could. I use a cane, so I'm kind of slow. When I got down to the bike, the kid was sitting on it fully and trying to turn the handlebars. The bike has a fork lock which keeps the front wheel locked to the left. He was repeatedly jamming the handlebars to the right, which can damage the bike. I yelled, "Hey, get off that bike!" The kid looked startled and scared, but didn't move. I approached him and said, "It's not your bike, this is not a toy, you need to ask before you can sit on this." I told him to go home and not sit on this bike again. The kid sheepishly crawls down off the bike and rushes off towards whichever apartment was his. I checked the bike over. It seemed okay. I was just attempting to climb the steps back into my apartment when I hear, "Excuse me." I turn and see this heavy-set, super angry-looking woman clomping towards me with the same kid in tow. The entitled mother asks, "Are you the one who told my son he couldn't sit on this motorcycle?" I say, "Yes, this is my husband's bike. The boy was playing with it with no one around. I told him he can't just climb on other people's vehicles like that." She says, "I told him it was okay. He saw the bike when he was playing and asked if he could sit on it." I said, "Ma'am, this isn't your bike. You can't give permission for him to be on it." She says, "So, I live in the apartment across the street. I was watching him from my window. He wasn't hurting anything." I say, "Ma'am, he was trying to turn the wheel of the bike with the fork engaged. He could have seriously damaged the vehicle, or worse, dropped it on himself. I don't see how you watching him from across the street will help him when a 900-pound bike crushes him." She says, "He was just playing with it. He wasn't going to hurt anything." I say, "Lady, I do not give your kid permission to climb on my bike. Whether you're watching him or not, please tell your son to never do that again." She says, "Well, you're not always going to be here to guard it. What's to stop him from playing on it when you're not here?" She said it so smugly, like she was challenging me. I pointed to my smart car behind the bike. "Do you see the dashboard camera right there? That thing is motion activated. If your son tries to play on this bike, he will be recorded. If I catch you or your kid so much as even touching the bike, let alone removing the cover or climbing on it, I will report you to the management office and the police." The entitled mother growls angrily, grabs her kid by the hand, and storms away. I put the cover back on the bike and put another motion alarm around the strap that cinches the cover tight. Not foolproof, but should make a good amount of racket if anybody moves the cover too much. I've got to speak with my husband and the management office on how to deal with the situation if it occurs again. I understand a kid doing it because they don't know better, but this mother was a piece of work. So if you warned this entitled mother like this and you found the kid messing around with your vehicle again, would you hesitate to call the police? Or would you be willing to just go right to 911? Let me know in the comments down below. This next story is by Miss Fitty, thinking about not giving my mom the Mother's Day gift I bought her. My mother is very demanding about what she wants on her birthday, Christmas, and Mother's Day. She makes the whole day about her and her plans, regardless of what anyone else wants to do. Her birthday, fine, but Christmas and Mother's Day, it gets frustrating. She recently told her boyfriend that her kids don't do much for her on Mother's Day. Total lie. That already made me upset. My brother was supposed to come down today. He lives out of town. We were all going to spend time together, and I was going to give her the gift I got her. She called me yesterday to tell me my brother wasn't coming, and she wanted me over for breakfast. I didn't get the call. I have an issue missing calls. She knows this. I've repeatedly told her to text or leave a voicemail. She didn't do either. I call her this morning to wish her happy Mother's Day and find out what time my brother will be here. She's immediately rude to me, telling me my brother isn't coming now, and she told me to make a plan. Also a lie, I thought we had a plan. Told me I failed to make a plan and that I missed breakfast. I then told her I'd like to stop by and see her and give her the present I got her. She then rudely told me her and her boyfriend are leaving and to just leave the gift at her house. I'm upset. I'm a mother also. She didn't consider I may have other plans with my child. She never asked me to make a plan like she said, and made no attempt to call me back or leave a voicemail or text telling me my brother wasn't coming and that she wanted me over for breakfast. It's like she creates these scenarios so that she can be a victim. I want to keep her gift for myself. I'm tired of playing into these pity me games she plays. In my opinion, if she wants to act like a witch and make me feel bad on Mother's Day, she doesn't get a gift. Is this over the line mean of me to keep the gift? If somebody really wanted you to come over, I don't think they would stop at just one attempt at a phone call and just leaving it there. How is somebody going to want to actually give you an update and not leave a voicemail or a text? If you try to make a call and the call didn't connect, and you didn't leave any other form of message for them to catch up, I don't see how you have any right to act upset or slighted in any way. You would know for a fact that you didn't make any kind of contact with them. I don't think it's over the line to keep the gift at all. This next story is by Callie Hex. I demand you change what words are slurs. So, plague restrictions have relaxed, and during COVID, I've picked up cross-stitching, a hobby I abandoned in middle school out of spite. I go to a semi-local stitch-in witch and make some friends. One of them, a college student, we'll call her Daisy, is talking about the new dog that they're getting and showing pictures all around. I, of course, cooed over the pupper and continued on my House Tyrell banner. The conversation was about the breeder, where they were getting him, and how her mother had finally agreed because of the pandemic. Someone then asks what they're naming the dog. Daisy says they're naming her GYPSY. I admit I cringed, but I didn't say anything. This is only my third or fourth time meeting most of these people, and I did not have the spoons to get into a discussion about racism in a library with close to strangers. Cowardice? Probably. Daisy unfortunately saw me cringe and immediately wanted to know why. If I thought it was a horrible name. Did I hate it? She wanted it to be perfect for the puppy. All I could really say is, well, it's a racial slur. If people have used it against you enough, it's sort of hard not to react. She demanded to know what I meant, and I went into how it's a slur for the Romani people, and a few highlights of the history of Rom oppression and genocide. Someone brought up that show, and I said that the majority who use it and are comfortable with it are Irish travelers or Romanical, but both still experience persecution for it. A dictionary was brought out. I pointed at the words offensive and prefer to be called Roma or Romani, and Googling was done. Awkward silence, and I was considering making this my last trip to Stitch-in Witch. The next day, also known as Saturday, I get an angry phone call. It's Daisy's mom. Daisy's mom goes off at my lies to her daughter, how the word means freedom and wanderer and shows the American spirit. She accuses me of poisoning her daughter against the name she chose. I say flatly that the word is a racial slur, that I only offered the information to Daisy only after she demanded to know why I winced, that she was free to name her dog whatever she liked. She demands that I call up Daisy and tell her that I lied, that I was just a social justice warrior, and that the dog would be fine. I said I wouldn't lie like that, and even if I did, they saw the dictionary. Her reply? Then change the dictionary. I just hung up. Seriously, why are some people this way? To be honest, I heard the word a number of times and I never knew it was a slur. I guess you really do learn something new every day. I guess it also goes to show you that in terms of history and really the treatment a lot of groups of people have experienced still lacks a lot of awareness that deserves to be out there. And our final story of the day is by Ham Wham. Karen gets pissed off at 10-year-old for... I don't even know why. This is so dumb, I don't even know what to put as the title. I started using Reddit a while ago, and this happened to me as a kid. I just never thought of it as an interaction with a Karen because I was young and stupid. Anyway, let's get started. It's not much, but I guess it's cool. Okay, so where I live, there's a county fair that happens every summer in the middle of this random field. There's a lot of farm-like things like horse beauty competitions and pig races. But there's also typical amusement park rides and fried dough stands. Basically, the works. One of the main attractions, though, is a demolition derby. Basically, they get cars that would have been crushed in scrap yards, and they decide to run them into each other. And the last one that doesn't break down wins. Everyone loves it and looks forward to it. Anyway, I was there with my friend and his dad. We enjoyed the rides, and it came time for the demolition derby. So we decide to look for a place on the grass where we can see it happening. We find a spot, but it's not the best view. So we keep our stuff there and look for a better spot. There, I see Karen with her 8-ish-year-old kid, and they look like they were forced to be there. The kid is kinda smiling, but neither are having fun. Right in front of them, there's a decent-sized patch of grass, just big enough for us to fit in. So basically, there's a huge group of people, then the grass, then Karen, then us. I decided that the best thing for my stupid butt to do, pardon my French, was to step over Karen's bag and go directly to the spot behind them. That was a dumb decision. Karen sees this and starts yelling at me. You stepped on my bag. I didn't. You took our spot. I didn't. You endangered my son. What the freak? Eventually, my friend's dad sees this whole scene of Karen yelling at a 10-year-old who's just standing in a patch of grass, and he comes back to see what's happened. Karen tells him that I stepped on her bag, but you see, he had seen me step over it. He looked away after that, God knows why, but he still saw me step over it. So he's basically the manager who saw it all character in this story. So now he's arguing with her, saying, yeah, he stepped over your bag, not on it. Meanwhile, I'm just chilling in this little place where I wanted to sit, watching the scene go down like a soap opera. And my friend's doing the same next to his dad. After a while, my friend's dad gets tired of arguing with someone this stupid and just tells me to leave and find a new spot. But before this, Karen moves her bag and her kid out of the way and makes an extremely wide path for me to get back, and continues to not use the spot anyway. If the Karen's gonna get so up in arms about this whole thing, why did they not use the spot in the end anyways? My God, they kind of come off as that person that just doesn't want anybody else to have something nicer than they do. Even if they don't really want it, they just don't want you to be able to enjoy something more than them. It's like, lady, stop making stuff up and let the 10-year-old kid sit in a nice patch. It's like, lady, stop making stuff up and let the 10-year-old kid just sit in the patch of grass and enjoy the demolition derby. Since she didn't seem too enthused, at least let somebody else enjoy it. But with that being said, that's all the time we have for today. So if you have a favorite story of the day, let me know which story and why in the comments down below. But besides that, if you enjoyed the video, please consider giving it a like, and if you haven't, subscribe and turn notifications on so you'll never miss an upcoming video. No matter what you do, whether it's just viewing the video, liking, subscribing, turning notifications on, I appreciate the heck out of it. Every little thing that you do helps the channel grow that much more, and I can't thank you enough for it. So, until next time, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll be right here next time on the Storytime channel.